Hey my Immortal Nerds, the next big patch is coming closer with Inferno 5 and I'm just very curious what they are holding for us. Looking back at all the different videos I made, I discovered a lot of strengths and weaknesses about the Barbarians. Do you feel them too? I don't know if the next major patch will bring legendaries or new sets, still I want to play a little guessing game today with you. What love does the Barb need? What are we missing? And what will they deliver? Let's take a look together into the crystal ball. So let's start with a look into the past to figure out what essences they brought already and what might follow them. So when we look into the last three big releases, we find that first they delivered us some essence for the Lacerate, a main hand, and three essences for the Wrath with the shoulder, helmet, and offhand to boost the damage. It was mostly focused on the spreading of damage of the Lacerate. We had the shoulder that is still in use, that gives additional damage per primary attack, and we had the pants and the chest as a first initial essences for the Sundered that just gave us a longer duration and a pull. So next batch included an essence for the wall. They gave us a new shoulder, the Ox, that deals the bleed, additional bleed damage. They gave us the new, and I think most of you use it in PvP, the essence for the helmet that gives you immunity to CC, and the main hand that delivers the burst damage. It's the Lion's Mane. In addition, we got another Wrath essence on the offhand that I think it was the counter attack here that switched from Sundered Legacy, but it never really reached the PvP. And Chain Spear with two essences, again the bleed focus on the chest and the pants to give us another charge. After that, what happened? We got another helmet essence for the demo. It was the Spartask with the pull. We got essences for Cleave, two essences. The main hand essence to deliver that three attacks that are within just one activation and had a very short cooldown here. And the shoulder to give additional, I think, 20% damage once you hit someone with Cleave. We received two different essences for the hammer. One was the chest that with every dot or every negative effect deals additional damage with your hammer, and the offhand that deals a massive blow with a short delay. And we got our Medal of Mine new pants for the leap as a last essence. So you see we had quite the variety of different essences spread over the whole skills. I want to include the latest patch with the little tweaks they made. We had the grab in here. It was, I think, very important that they touched that skill again. It had not that big influence, but they put in some love there. We had charge as a very important change, making it to deliver more damage and to be more usable in PvP as a counterbalance for the leap. We had another tweak for the cleave, again damage boost for the hammer with some animations. So that's it. When you look at it, you will see that they skipped some skills. We see a frenzy, we see a sprint, the undying rage, and a stomp. There was nothing in the last, I don't know, half year or something that covered those skills. So that's why I think we should really look at those skills. They have the highest possibility that they will include a change in the next release of Legendary Essences. So now that we figured out what they might change, on which skill they might do some adjustments, let's have a look at our different pieces we have to find out what we really need. Starting with the Helmet Essence, we see that it's mostly used for Undying Rage, and we finally need some change on the Undying Rage. We kind of play the same Undying Rage style since the beginning, and a new to discover a new game style, an essence here is needed to fix that Undying Rage and to do something more for us. Otherwise, people will only play the demo. Yes, Undying is still played as well as more like a CC or durable, tanky build, but it definitely needs some love. On the other hand, we have a skill Ground Stomp, which is heavily changed through the helmet essence, where we need some new utility to make it viable for additional gaming styles. Going over to the chest, I think it's pretty clear it misses a leap bonus. So when you play a leap kind of style, you don't really have something to put in there for the chest. If you don't go for any chain spear or hammer combinations, you will have nothing for there. So it's an open slot. They should give us something to close that spot. Again, Ground Stomp is really good here. You could go into some combinations with a new utility on the helmet. You could use now this chest as a additional damage or additional further little bonus attack essence here to boost a Ground Stomp. Then shoulders. As we have it for the chest, we are missing a slot for the shoulders, for the dash. Our Furious Charge here is not used for that essence in any way. It could be used, it has some potential here to put in an essence, so again, another essence would close that open slot for many builds. On the other hand, we have Sprint. We saw before, Sprint might be some of the skills that will be has a high potential for a change. The shoulder essence is a modification essence for the Sprint in general. It has the wind tunnel, it has the flame trail, so it could deliver us here a new utility in that spot. Going over to the pants. Pants are really not that much in use currently. If you go with the charge build, leap or furious charge, yes, then you need your pants. If you don't go for it, go any sprint, wrath combination, I don't know, then you are missing a solid essence on that spot. When you now look at the Ground Stomp or grab, this spot will hold the possibilities to enable that skills. So for grab, we could use an additional charge, definitely. Just one charge with that dash is not enough. If we want to make a grab dash a common build, we need another charge. For the Ground Stomp, on the other hand, we need a new utility here to make it viable for PvP or for PvE. We have that Ancestral Stomp. This is pretty good. Again, then you don't have a chest essence, so we need a chest essence somehow. But it's still not strong enough when it comes to CCing the enemy, when it comes to really delivering impact even in PvP. So we need something that benefits our playstyle even more. So let's go to main hand and offhand weapons. On them, it's very interesting too, because here we're touching our main skill, the Frenzy and the Lacerate. That for a Barbarian is one of the core skills beneath a Whirlwind that we use for dealing damage. When you look at the current playstyle in PvP, we really miss some engagement techniques to go to the enemy fast. If we do not land our dash in any way, we are very often lost, because we will not reach the fast moving, high dashing demon hunters anymore. We will not get to all of that fleeing necromancers and fast running and casting wizards. It's tough sometimes to close that distance. So I think for Frenzy and Lacerate, if they really touch it, we need some kind of dash utility. I think there's something with the Monk where when you primary attack, you close that a small gap between you and the enemy with a little dash, auto dash. So this might be pretty good. For the offhand, we're going back to sprint and grab again. Here on the offhand, as the main modification lies with the main hand, we need an essence here to boost the damage to be relevant for PvP. If you stick with the damage you have currently, and yes, they tweaked something about the grab, but it's still not enough. Damage is not good enough. We need an additional damage or an additional charge at least to utilize those skills. For additional damage, it doesn't mean 20% blank more damage. It could be something like, and you burn that enemy, or you deliver another attack, something that potentials the damage of that skills. For the other main hand essences, yes, you can always go with double frenzy, double lacerate, but I think there are other combinations that are very good. We have for leap already an AoE attack on the leap. Why don't we have it for the Furious Charge? Another bonus AoE effect, maybe something that cools enemies instead of burning them, instead of just dealing blank damage, so that they cannot run that fast anymore. We don't have to offer our chest essence for that anymore. So something for the Furious Charge on a main head would be very, very helpful. For the cleave, on the other hand, it's still not good enough. We still not can utilize it perfectly in PvE or PvP. There is something missing. And what I see, honestly, is that the cleave gets a passive skill as the Wrath of the Berserker aura, because everyone needs the Sundered Legacy to deal some passive AoE damage, and it's really annoying that this slot is blocked for nearly every build out there. So I think we could shove it to the main hand. Make cleave some kind of spinning axis around you, I don't know, AoE aura that just deals a good amount of damage and delivers now bleed instead of fire to enable our Falling Thunder. You know, kind of very nice combinations here. And lastly, with the last offhand, again, I would go to the Ground Stomp. An additional effect, additional damage or something would be good to enable it, like the hammer, like the chain spear, as a regular used CC-ish, control-ish kind of playstyle. On the other hand, for the hammer, we still need something to make hammer good in PvP. Yes, the stone wall was good, it's not that bad. And now some crazy combination of Spartusk Vortex with the new hammer essence are working well. But honestly, it's all too clunky. What we need is a solid stun on the hammer, so that whatever we do with our hammer, we deal and deliver a stun. Then it gets viable in PvP. Okay guys, we know which techniques or skills they might touch, and we know what we need and what would be good ideas on the different essences to deliver to us. Now we need to know and need to combine it with their general idea of how new gameplays, game styles for all of the classes might be enabled within the next Inferno stages. So for that, again, we look back. What have they done in the past? They started with the Pain Clasp and the Banquet set, where they utilized dot damages, so damage over time effects. That was their main idea, and they all put it onto that bell, let's say it like this. Then, after that, in the next Inferno stage, they tried to improve our channel skills. They have that Iron Bane in combination with the Seeds of Sound Gold set. So to improve the damage delivered by channeled skills and to reduce their armor to deal more damage. And after that, so dot and channel, they again jumped onto the dot train, but not with utilizing dots, just with delivering dots. They gave us a Viper's Bite and they gave us the Angmats to just deliver our own dots and utilize builds on that. So when you look back, it's really dot focus, it's channeled, and what hint do we have for what they will do next with the next set? We have one thing, the new gem, the Grim Rhythm. So with a focus on primary attack with delivering more attack speed, they kind of give us a hint into which direction they will go. So what I think is that they will deliver a set focusing on that as well. They will focusing on primary attack damage. I don't know exactly how, but I think it will be in some combination, because we had nothing in regards of defense yet. So nothing that makes us tankier or anything. It's all damage, damage, damage. So I think they will deliver us something that boosts our primary attack in any way, but gives us some defensive buff. That's a combination I see. It could be some CC boosts or CC immunity combination, even a summon bonus in any way that you get attack speed, attack damage, but per summon it's something else scales, or a dashes bonus. But honestly, I think they will put it into the defensive. Let's see, I don't know. But combining that with the knowledge we have, we can now make some predictions. So looking back, we have the skills here, again, Frenzy, Ground Stomp, Sprint, and Undying Rage. We know what slots we have and what we could utilize here. So with a Frenzy, we kind of need a push to that skill, and it would be pretty cool to have kind of a short range dash automated in our primary attack. That would be awesome. For the Ground Stomp, I think it's more like an Earthquake aura. We need some passive or some elemental mod that let the Ground Stomp do fire damage to get away from Wrath, or any kind of combination of making us more tankier. It could be petrification heal, something where we even can boost our survivability in the idle. So not just Undying Rage that let us survive, but something like you turn into stone for 5 seconds, dealing 10k damage per second and healing 10% of the damage you deal. I don't know, something like this. To enable new playstyles, because I think it is clearly needed to give us an alternative to the existing stuff. For the Sprint, on the other hand, it could be pretty cool. I think we already have some Sprint combination that increase our dodge chance by, I think, 20% it was. And when you look at this and go into our new damage level we reached now, such a 20% dodge will not help us in any way. Crits hit anyway, so it's kind of useless. But what we could go into is kind of a mini Spiteful Blood modification. So when Sprint is active, we get maybe immunity to primary attacks, to regular primary attacks, or we get an immunity to only regular attacks, or something that help us to survive even a bit more. So it could be pretty cool. On the other hand, we could stay into the Sprint mod for longer. So whenever we deal damage or we take damage, Sprint prolongs for 1.5 seconds or something, and we can make that duration in the battleground even longer. That would be pretty cool. And of course, standard kind of way as they're doing it right now, we could get some knockback ability that helps us just when we run past something. It gets a knockback once every 3 seconds or something with a little damage over time. You know, something that helps us getting more into the disrupt position. Lastly, Undying Rage. That's interesting because we need something, and I bet that they will do something with that skill. Anything that helps us to deal more damage here or give us additional attack boost when we think again about the future playstyles might be very good. Right now, we just survive for a longer time, but they already implemented it with the Spiteful Blood. You survive now for longer, but during that time, you deal more damage. And that's, I think, the right idea to boost Barbarians' damage into the future. And whatever they do, and I think that's important, we need kind of an improved heal. So for whales with a high fortitude level, when they do any dot damage, they heal up like crazy. I know that. So whatever you do with the heal percentage you get, whales will not profit from it because they heal up 100% anyway. It will not make any difference for them. But the rest of us who are on a lower resonance, even low resonance brackets, we do not heal that much from that skill because we do not even deal that much damage to heal. We can only hope for summons out there because there we deal a lot of damage, and with that we heal up. But some kind of improved heal would be very, very useful. Concluding it, skills, possible essences, the new possible set and new gems. I think the future of the Barb is a fast-moving, tanky and hard primary hitting badass. And that's a very cool future I see for the Barbarian. It has so much potential, it just needs a little tweaks here and there to enable some skills and to make new playstyle variants available, to make it a bit more creative, let's call it like this. But it's all heading into the same direction. Primary attacks deal hard damage and try to survive. And that's a cool future, I think. And besides all of the different possibilities for the Barbarians, I think there will be some cool updates in the next major release too. Anyway, we need new armor levels to go above level 30 for our scraps, you know, to get a bit more attributes for the upcoming Inferno stages. We will have new dungeon in the southern Dreadlands, and including the new set, of course. There will be some kind of new cool event. I think people or other content creators described it as an Among Us in Diablo Immortal, so I'm pretty curious what that will look like. And what I hope that they will implement, because it's one of the critical points for this game, is a way or a boost, as they did in the past, but something even more forced, to enable new players into the higher levels. Because we will lose them. If players need too much time to close up to the other core playing members, it will be impossible for them to have fun, because they will be lost somewhere down there, and if they are not hardcore gamers, we will lose potential new players for this game. So they need something to even get new players faster into the upper ranks. I would even say after a tutorial there is a boost, you just start at level 500 or something, I don't know. But you need to boost them to keep this game alive. And yeah, as a little possible look into the future, I think sooner or later we will talk about horses. You have them in Diablo 4, you have this riding pals, and I think sooner or later they will come into Diablo Immortal as well. Let me know your view on this. Will we meet horses in this game or not? I'm pretty curious what you have to say on that. So much for now. I'm still a huge fan of this game, and I love what the developers put as content in every of the releases and the big major updates. I like how much they develop this game, still develop this game, and I'm looking forward into the different contents here. So I hope you had fun taking a look in our little crystal ball here together. Let me know your view on the different possibilities I stated. Of course, it's just all made up by me out of experience. If you see anything else, if you know anything else, if there are hidden infos, and I'm not that deep into the whole Chinese hacker crew here who delivers constantly new insights about some hidden information, let me know what you know, write it into the comments, and let us talk. See you soon, guys.